Hey folks, welcome to That's Dope, the podcast where we talk about things that are dope. My name is Godswill. I am your baritone bro host.
And I am your high-voiced host, Justin. And today we have a very special episode for you. We're going to be talking about someone who's gotten a lot of notoriety for one reason or another.
Just a little bit.
just a little bit.
You might have heard of him, maybe not.
You may or may not have heard of this person. Some people view him as an asshole. Some people view him as a genius.
Yeah.
Most people view him as both.
Yeah.
Today we have a very special episode discussing everything about Kanye West. This is for everyone who is a Kanye supporter. This is for people who are Kanye haters. These are for people who don't give a crap about Kanye.
Or don't know anything about
Kanye. We are telling you everything about Kanye, and it's going to be great.
Yep. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about our favorite games and why you should probably stick with the current this generation of games actually right now. Yeah, so it's going to be a fun episode. So yeah, stay tuned and you'll enjoy the show.
Yep. Awesome. Okay, so why don't we talk about like games first, I guess?
Yeah.
So with games, as you all probably know, there's a lot of new consoles out. There's the Wii U. There's the Xbox One. There's the PS4.
Woo!
Oh.
I mean, I'm not a fanboy. I meant to woo after each of them, but I don't know. Anyways.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
Like PS4 is pretty good.
Yeah.
The controller, like I'm not a PlayStation person, but that controller just feels good.
Yep.
Feels good.
Yep.
There's a lot of consoles out right now, all with a really heavy price tag, except for like the Wii U. But even still at $300, that's quite a setback.
I'm not gonna do that. Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people have been doing a lot of podcasts and a lot of videos on which console's the best, what you should get. We're here to tell you that you shouldn't get any of them.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get any of them. Seriously, like listen to us. You shouldn't get any of them right now.
Exactly. I mean, we're all poor.
Yeah, definitely. The only
at least
console,
me and him are poor.
Real talk, the only console that is worth getting right now, as we're recording this, is the Wii U. That's it. And even then, it's a stretch because the Wii U doesn't have all that many games. You know, it has like Pikmin 3, which is a great game. New Super Mario Bros. Wii U, which is amazing. Oh my god, the game is so much fun. Like we're playing right now and it's fantastic. The newly released Super Mario 3D World, which just came out, which is supposed to be really great too. And you know, there's a lot of like really great games that are coming, like Mario Kart and Donkey Kong Country, the new one, etc. But with
Cranky Kong,
dude, the worst. Nintendo just needs to get up on their stuff right now, right? It's long story short, the current consoles, they're really expensive right now, and they don't even have that many games. So don't waste your time buying new consoles right now. Just don't. Just wait till the price drops and there's actually games for you to play. It makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes so much sense.
Exactly. So
now it's like, oh, who cares if there isn't that many games? I can't afford any games, so just threw $500 at a console. It's like
that doesn't make any sense.
That don't make any sense. All right. The only good game on, I'll say right now, the only good game on the current generation for the Xbox One, as we're recording this right now, is Killer Instinct, and that is a damn good reason to buy an Xbox One. I'm not gonna lie. But that being said, with all this hype on the current generation, people have missed out some great gems on the last generation. And today, before we get into talking about Kanye West, we're going to uncover some of those gems.
Exactly. Perfect time to do that right now, right?
We're going to save you guys a little bit of money. We're going to introduce you guys to some great games. And since they're older games, they're probably a lot cheaper now.
Exactly.
Why don't you kick it off, Godswill?
Okay, cool. So both my games are on the PS3. I'm not a fanboy, but I just love Sony and the PlayStation. Ooh. But the first game I want to talk about was a game that I played last year. Did I play last year or did I play like early this year?
I think it was last year because remember our first podcast?
Yeah,
You talked about this soundtrack being your favorite album.
Yeah, so this game, so I played it last year and it's Journey. Like I've had this game for a while, but I hadn't played it. Like what I would do is like whenever I just wanted to just listen to some nice music, I would just I would hover over it and it would play like this theme song. It was so calming and nice. So I was just like, wow, this is a nice song. Oh, well, too bad I won't ever play this game. And I don't know, I just somehow worked up the courage to finally play this game, and I'm so glad I did. Journey is a PlayStation 3 only game. You download it, and it's really cheap. And I'm really glad I played it because like it's 2 hours, 2-3 hours, right?
Yeah, like you can finish it under 3 hours.
Yeah,
it's a very
exactly.
short game.
Exactly, but very moving and inspirational. Like it's something that, like, first of all, the music. Like
music is
like
amazing.
Justin said, like I really liked this album last year, and I still listen to it today.
Oh, me too. It's the it's like, I think it's the first video game album to be nominated for a Grammy, if I remember right.
Exactly.
And it deserves that Grammy.
Yeah, it didn't win, but it got nominated.
Yeah,
that's a step.
It's a step for sure.
I actually bought the album. I mean,
did too.
usually I'm not gonna lie, I don't usually buy my stuff because I'm a poor college student, but this was worth the money. So music aside, like it's a very good game in like how it goes. Like it doesn't tell you how to play. It doesn't tell you, like, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but because definitely it's 3 hours. Like you can figure all this out. But it doesn't tell you how to play the game too much in depth. I mean, like, except for like you press circle to make a sound and you move with the analog stick. All right, good luck. And you might want to go towards that mountain area. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go over there. And there's many surprises along the way. I don't want to spoil anything, but definitely like the surprise of those. If you haven't played this game but you plan to, don't look up like anything, like any walkthroughs for this game. Just play it. You'll enjoy it so much more.
Oh, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I first played this game, Godswill just invited me over. He's just like, "You're gonna play this, and I'm not gonna say anything." I was like, "Okay," and it was just a really moving experience. Like it's hard to put into words exactly how Journey makes you feel without
giving it away.
But it's a very inspirational game, and especially given like how long it takes you to play. The fact that
you wouldn't think like this would move you at all. Like, it's 3 hours. Oh, that sounds like a Pac-Man game or something like that. I don't know.
Pac-Man? You're supposed to be pretty good at Pac-Man, bro. I die in like 15 seconds.
Yeah, right. Like, no, I mean, it definitely sounds like it's going to be like a really small investment, or it's not going to get you hooked at all, but this is crazy.
It works.
This game made me want to cry. Like, I played this game like 4 times, I guess. Or like I've seen people like play it. Like, I played it twice myself, and I've seen people play it like 3 times. One, I would say don't play with a big group.
Definitely not.
Like 2, definitely like it's better if like the person's more mature in a sense, I guess, like, or more, I don't know, like willing to take in new things in a sense, 3, try not to have them talk too much during it. I mean, like you can talk, but like there's some moments you shouldn't talk, because like I was about to cry like the first 2 times I played this. And every freaking time, people are talking. I remember the first time I played this game, and like I finished it, and I was about to cry, like seriously about to, and just, and my roommate, like good friend of mine, but like he was talking, wasn't paying attention at all, and like I was in the moment of like the last scene, and he was like, hey Godswill, you hearing what I'm saying? I wanted to yell at him. I was like, I'm not paying attention. I didn't, it's just like, oh my God. And then the second time I played the game, I was playing with someone else who was just talking so much again. I sort of want to say his name, but I don't want to say his name. He was talking so much too, and he was just making jokes, and it's just like, shut up, you're not funny. And finally, the time I watched it with Justin, like it was a lot more real.
Buddy?
Yeah.
Buddy. I'm crying just thinking about it. It was so good.
I remember when I played it, I do want to say like one last thing. Like the time I played it, like unfortunately I knew about the special secret that I'm not going to tell you guys about. But it meant so much still, like to have that special secret there, to have it is a journey to go along with other people, like definitely bring a friend, someone that you care about to watch this with you and see what you can think about. And also like it's such a good game. Like it made me reflect on my life. That's all I'll say.
For a game that takes less than 3 hours, the fact that it shapes your life, that's nothing short of incredible.
Exactly.
And I cannot agree with your pick any more.
Thank you.
That was great.
Appreciate it. Okay, so Last of Us, like seriously, like it's a masterpiece. It's one of the best games ever, really. Like I'll just give like, because Justin here hasn't played it either, and also I don't want to spoil anything because like it's very, very good. But it's a zombie game that's not really about zombies. It's really about like how people deal with the changing environment, and what do you do about this world that you're in, you know. I'm trying to phrase things correctly so that way I don't mess up anything. But there's these monster, like there's this fungus called, I actually forget what the fungus is called. Oh, cordyceps, actually. Yeah, cordyceps, that like infects humans. Like usually, like, cause like there's like fungus that affects like animals or bugs, you know. But now this fungus infects humans, and happens 20 years like currently now, and then it just starts making people violent, and like big breakout, bad things happen. Then you go 20 years into the future, and then you see how things have happened, how things have progressed. First of all, the game is beautiful. Like nature takes first place. You know, it has wrecked the cities that you go through, and when you're in the wilderness, it's even more beautiful. So the game looks beautiful. To the environment, like somehow that's different, but like the environments of this game, like it's haunting to see like how places that you might know have been destroyed, you know, because of this epidemic. But then also like the environment of sort of fear, oppression that pervade the game. That's awesome too. 3, the characters, you know, really make this game. I mean, definitely like there's zombies, like, oh no, you know, they're gonna run away from zombies and kill them, or they're gonna kill us first, we gotta kill them first, you know. No, it's more like season 3 of Walking Dead, like what we used to talk about, where it's not so much about the zombies anymore. I mean, of course they're like a big effect and they have shaped the world that we're in, but it's not about them, it's about the people. And the people in this game, especially like the 2 main characters, and you know, even the side characters that come along your way, have been amazing. And definitely this game makes me question, what would I do, you know? I mean, definitely I do want to be idealistic and say like, oh, you know, I would do this, and but this game definitely challenges your morals, you know. Like, it's just like, what do you do to survive, you know? What do you do to that's right with your morals? What do you do, you know, to help your psyche? You know, because definitely these people have messed up psyches, unfortunately, because so much bad crap happens.
Yeah, that's what happens whenever you're for so long.
Of course, but it's just like, these people are really messed up. Like you'll see, like there's like schizophrenia, there's like insomnia because, you know, they're so messed up, like they're so tired. You know, they do pretty questionable things. Everyone does pretty questionable things. You know, even like the supposed good guys, they do supposed questionable things that make you wonder, like, are they correct in what they're doing? You know, maybe they shouldn't do that, or I don't know. You know, maybe the protagonists, you know, like, can you blame them for what they do? Maybe not.
I'm told that the ending is really, really emotional.
Oh yeah, like that made me just sort of question. It's like, but I didn't. But maybe he was correct. I don't know what I mean. Definitely, I don't want to say anything, and I hope I'm not giving anything away, like what I just said. But like, it's definitely makes you question like a lot
of moral dilemmas.
Exactly, and I guess that's just what I like about games. You know, games that make you question yourself. I mean, definitely, I do like that challenge, though. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that kind of segues really nicely into one of my picks.
Yeah.
Both of these games are kind of indie games, and both of these games are available on Xbox 360 and Steam, aka PC. Though this first game is also available on PS3. And continuing your zombie theme / moral choices, I'm gonna go with the Walking Dead game by Telltale. There's another Walking Dead game by some other company, and it sucks. This game is by Telltale. Remember that, Walking Dead by Telltale. It's I can't say enough crazy things about this game. It is phenomenal. It is just incredible. Like, I think about it and I get emotional just thinking about this game. The game is divided into 5 episodes, and each episode takes about 2 hours to beat. Some episodes more, some episodes less. I think the first one was like the longest one for me personally, and took me like 2.5 hours or so. And you play as this character named Lee, who may or may not have killed a person who his wife was having an affair with.
Dang.
The game is interesting because you make almost every decision. The dialogue that you have with people, determines whether people are just your friends, whether you have strong feelings towards them in negative ways, whether you like to have a relationship with them, etc. The conversations that you have with people determines whether you actually did kill this guy or if you were innocent. These conversations essentially shape all of these relationships that you have with these characters. And you have a lot of conversations with like so many different characters to the point where you have emotional attachments to these characters, you know, for one reason or another. There are characters where you're like, wow, that character is great. Me and her would be great together. Sure. And then things happen and you have to make decisions on who you save and who has to die.
Crap.
I was alone with these feels. I beat this game like a couple of weeks ago. It was just insane. I felt because a lot more people, like not that many people play this game for stars. That's why I had to recommend it, because not that many people know about this game. Mm-hmm. But it's like every week I'd just be alone with my feels. I didn't have anyone to really talk to about it, because no one was going through the same stuff as me. You know,
Michael Salcedo actually has gone through it. Like he gave me like episode 1 or 2 or like.
Oh yeah, and I talked with our good friend Zlatan about it.
Cool. But still, it was just so many feels. And unlike Last of Us, it's not really like a really challenging game. Mm-hmm. You know, Last of Us definitely has like a degree that makes it like more suited, I feel, for like. Oh yeah.
Like hardcore.
Yeah, for me, like I loved it because it's just like
it's challenging.
Yeah, like one last thing about Last of Us, like that aspect of like there's not enough materials anywhere. There's no ammo. There's no healing supplies. You have to scrounge up everything, and I already do that. You know, like I maxed out ammo somehow, like on hard mode. Yeah, it was just like, oh, okay, because usually I'm just going the stealth way anyways, and then like when I do need to use my bullets. It's like, okay, let me bring out my clips. Oh man, so I was just like, okay, but like I really did enjoy that.
Yeah, Last of Us is definitely aimed more towards like a more, if you're a more seasoned gamer. Both of my games are for everyone. Mm-hmm. Like whether you're like a seasoned player or if you're just getting into games, these are both great games. Mm-hmm. Like the game itself is not necessarily very difficult in terms of the gameplay. Mm-hmm. It's difficult in terms of the choices you make. Do. Mm-hmm. Because they will resonate with you so fiercely. Like I said, it's 5 episodes, and in these 5 episodes, you follow 2 main people. You follow this guy named Lee, who you play as, and then you follow this girl named Clementine, who's this like little girl that you find who's all alone. And oh my god, like even just thinking about it, it's emotions. I can't even words right now.
Emotions.
It's like my emotions.
Emotions.
Yeah. I cannot suggest this game enough. It's great for everyone. Even if you aren't familiar with the Walking Dead universe, it's fine because the characters in the game are completely different. There are some tie-ins to the comics. So if you read the comics and stuff, then you'll be like, oh, I recognize that person. But it just takes that universe where a zombie apocalypse has just happened, and it doesn't make it so much about the zombies. It makes it about the people, just like Last of Us does. And I really liked it a lot. I thought it was simple to pick up, but it really resonated. And I can't stress this enough. Please play this game. The second game that I want to suggest is a game by Supergiant Games.
Oh, yeah.
Some of you may know that they're working on a game called Transistor, which was showcased at PlayStation 4's keynote back a couple months ago. And they made this game called Bastion, which is available for PC, Mac, via Steam, and also for your Xbox.
Even iPhone.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. You're right.
I haven't played it because Justin was like, "Don't play it on your iPhone. You gotta play it on a computer." I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I haven't played it on the iPhone, so I can't vouch for that.
I guess I have to experience.
Yeah, it's for your iPhone. It's for your iPad. It's an amazing game. In this game, you play as this character called the Kid, and he wakes up in this post-apocalyptic world where this event called the Calamity occurred, and the Calamity wiped out almost all the people, and it mutated like so much of the world. Like it really like destroyed the world and just ripped it apart and caused so much horrendous things to happen to the world as a whole. And so you're just this kid who like wakes up in the middle of all of this, and you kind of have to navigate through it. And it's hard to explain without going into details on the plot and spoiling too much, but I just really love that game. It has a really high amount of replayability because there's like 4 possible endings. And so I think I've gone through that game like 6 times.
Dang.
It's fun. And the game is really great because they made it so that you can set how hard you want the game to be, and you can change it too, because there's like this system called there's like a thing you can build called the temple, and then you can put idols in the temple, and each idol makes the game harder by some way or form. So if you're like crazy like me, then you could build the temple first and put all the idols on, so that you don't have like any weapons or anything, and you're just trying to forge. But I wouldn't suggest doing that. That's only if you're super hardcore. Okay. And if you are super hardcore, then please hit me up, because I'm really freaking good at Bastion.
Okay.
But yeah, Bastion. The soundtrack, incredible. The soundtrack, I cannot say enough great things about the soundtrack.
I bought that too myself.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just really good. The characters are amazing, and the really cool thing about this game is everything that you do is narrated by like this mysterious like narrator, and he has like this really, really good voice. It's better than your voice, man. Like, that's saying something.
Oh wow.
Like he has like he just has like the best voice, and he just like narrates everything. Like you find like a hammer at the beginning of the game, and it's like kid finds his best friend lying on the ground, and you know you just go around, you're just like practicing with it, and right. And if you practice for like a really long time, it's just like kid just rages for a while. It's good. It's really good, and some of the concepts in there are really, really interesting. I don't want to give those away because it deals with the ending, but I highly suggest you check it out. It's just a really beautiful game all the way through. Like it's all like the way it's designed, I suppose, is interesting because it all seems like it's all just painted, and it looks really good. The gameplay is easy to pick up. And it can be really, really challenging if you want to, and if you're not like super serious, then it still provides like a good challenge.
Cool.
Definitely check it out, Bastion.
Dope.
And
yeah, these are our 4 games that we have. All these games are great games, even if you don't play games that often. You can all set their difficulty, easy or not. But all of them are really about not just about the game, but like it's a good story to hear.
Oh yeah,
it's a good story to experience. Actually,
definitely. I'm gonna go on a small rant.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons why I really wanted to do a segment like this and also include video games is because there's like a lot of video games have like this bad rep. You know, people are like, oh, video games are responsible for people being violent. You know, all these violent video games, and
Jack Johnson.
God, like it's like all these first-person shooters are responsible for making people so violent. I was like, psh, are you joking? Mario Party makes people violent, all right? Like, are you serious? No, but video games overall have like a really bad rep, and there's a very bad connotation on who exactly can enjoy video games, and I kind of want to transcend all of that. I think that video games are an art form, especially the way that a lot of games are progressing these days. Like, don't get me wrong, you have your really crappy games out there. Yeah. You have your basic bland games that don't really offer anything other than, say, like a multiplayer experience, which is fine. Everyone is into different kinds of stuff. But especially with some of the games that we're discussing right now, we're trying to showcase and highlight how video games can be used as an art form to tell a story. Yeah. And one of the things that I found, like I'm a huge film person, I'm a huge television person, but one of the things that I really found awesome about the way a video game tells a story versus the way, say, like a novel or a film or a TV show does, is that you are actually these characters. You know, even if you follow some kind of chain of scripted sequences, you are this person. Yeah, you did this.
Exactly. It's so much more immersive.
Yeah.
You're not watching. I was actually just watching a video a little earlier that my friend sent me about like why aren't there more gay games or gay main characters in a sense. And like the narrator, I guess, like on that show or video clip was like people are cool with like gay characters like on screen because like, okay, they're gay, that's cool. But then for gay main characters, like, okay, I'm gay, I have to be really cool with it, or else I'm gonna get a little worried about it. That's probably like that's one theory why there's not that many gay games or gay main characters, whatever, you know. Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, like I think I kind of know what you're saying. It's almost as if like it's like the way we paint these protagonists is important because if we do it wrong, we lose that immersion. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. But yeah, I like how like this art form.
Yeah. Video games these days are shaping up to really be like a new art form. You know, not saying every video game is art. There's plenty of garbage out there for sure.
Of course.
But I think it's important to showcase at least some of the games and really remove some of the stigmas that a lot of video games get. You know, parents look at video games. They're just like, oh, they're ruining this country. They're making people terrible. And honestly, like after I played Journey, I felt like I became a better person.
Oh yeah, I became a better person myself.
Like that's incredible. Few things have done that for me. You know, and so even if you're not really a gamer, just give this a chance. You'll find that, you know, like video games are just like a really interesting experience, and they really are for everyone. Like they're not specifically, they shouldn't be like I feel like a lot of the times like video games are really like closed off to be like a boys club, and they're supposed to be like just this.
Apparently half of the gamers are women, actually.
Yeah, but all the marketing
it really does make it look like as if it's for dudes.
It's all showcased to dudes, and that makes me really mad, but that's like an entirely different rant entirely. My point is that the world is gonna try to put video games in like this box and say that only these kind of people can enjoy that, but bump all of that.
Yeah, right.
Bump all of that.
All of that.
Seriously, you play games.
I want more girls at SGC.
We want more girls at SGC for sure. But yeah, so even if you don't really play games, I highly suggest you check out like at least one of these games. Tell us what you think about it.
If you can't play them, check out maybe a Let's Play on YouTube. Check them out and just see like what we have gone through ourselves. Definitely play the game if possible.
Yeah, I would honestly, like, especially with like a game like Journey, I would suggest
actually doing
playing
that.
it. And same with Last of Us, because same with actually all these games. Like with these games, I'd say like you should like a Let's Play is like your last final resort.
Exactly.
But honestly, like I know our listener base mostly knows us in real life. Hit us up. We got it. We got you, okay? Like not a problem. Like you can come over and play Bastion with me. I don't even care. All right, that's cool. You want to play Journey? Call up Godswill. He's gonna be breakdancing in the corner or whatever.
I'll stop when those big points come on, but I'll be head spinning. Yeah.
Like just give it a chance. All you have to do is just give it a chance.
Yeah.
I cannot say this enough. You are missing out on fantastic adventures. You are missing out on fantastic stories, fantastic characters, and to deny yourself the opportunity to enrich yourself is just a really huge mistake.
Exactly. So yeah, very well said. I'm really glad we're doing this. We talk about things that are dope, and this is just
one of those things that we think is pretty dope.
Exactly. So definitely, there's no real reason to go buy like a new next gen system yet. I think it's premature. There's
there's some great games,
and also they're bringing out more games for the current systems too. So definitely just wait it out. Play those games that we told you guys. If you want more examples, talk to us maybe like on our comments section on Facebook.
But yeah, please, while you're playing these games, like please send us some messages. You can post on our Facebook, send us a tweet, send us a message on Tumblr, however you want to do it. All those links are in the description below. So we suggest you check them out.
Indeed.
Let's talk.
Right.
Talking is important.
Exactly.
That's the entire reason why we do this podcast.
Right. I mean, we do like talking, so.
Yeah. Let's have a giant discussion.
Hey, I like that idea.
I would love a giant discussion, right?
Right, me too.
All right.
So, yeah.
We're going to take a small break, and when we come back, we're going to talk everything there is to know about Kanye West.
Oh, my God.
Hello and welcome back to That's Dope, the podcast where we talk about stuff that's dope. And we are now moving on to our main segment where we discuss Kanye West.
Jesus.
Bit of a backstory and a little bit of clarification. Just to let you know, me and Godswill are both huge Kanye West fans.
We're a little biased.
Yeah. We're definitely going to be biased. That being said, I'm not going to be one of those Kanye fans who's going to say everything that Kanye has done has been perfect.
Exactly.
Right? Everything Kanye says is incredible and amazing. Because he's a dude. He's a normal human being, and he says stupid shit just like the rest of us.
Well,
all right.
I thought he was Jesus. I thought he had come. Oh my God! Everything I know. Yeah, no, seriously. Like, I'm not gonna lie. He said stupid things in the past too.
Kanye said
in fact, like
in the past.
his
he
interviews.
said stupid stuff in the present.
Yeah,
right?
right.
Kanye has said plenty of stupid stuff, and we are by no means gonna justify every single thing that he has said. That being said,
you don't have the answers.
You don't got the answers, Godswill. You ain't got the answers. I've been doing this more than you. I've been doing the education.
Oh my God! When I saw that.
That being said, we're definitely going to get into a lot of the negative ways that the media frames people in general, and especially Kanye. But we're going to save some of that for after we talk about what's important, which is his music. So
before we get into that, I do want to say one reason we're bringing him up now is because we saw him live in concert. Oh my gosh, one of the best concerts. I mean, it was during the ice apocalypse that it happened here, last week Friday, right?
Yeah.
Was it last week already?
It was last week.
Oh, wow.
No, it wasn't last week. It was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Jeez.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Okay, for those of you who don't know, 2 weeks ago for us, I guess it'll be
in Dallas.
Yeah, in Dallas. When we're recording this 2 weeks ago, back in the day, on the 6th, I think.
Yeah.
There was this
December 6th.
Yeah, December 6th. There was this giant I wouldn't say giant, but there's an ice issue, so to say.
Issue.
And
it's pretty moderate.
Yeah. For those of you outside of Texas, whenever ice or snow happens, you guys are just whatever. Throw on my snow tires, good to go. For Texas, it's you see one single snowflake, and that scene in Monsters Inc. when he comes out of the closet, he's got that one sock on. They're 2219. Everyone's losing. They're oh my God! That's what happens with one snowflake. So there were basically the roads iced over, and there were shenanigans, and everyone shut down things real fast. We get to this concert. And let's just say there were open seats.
Yeah. So we just took advantage of opportunities.
Yeah,
And we got pretty close.
Didn't do anything bad or nothing like that,
We weren't hurting nobody.
We weren't hurting nobody.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Concert was dope. We weren't about to go because you're oh no, it's icy. But we went and it was the best.
It was honestly one of the best concerts I've ever... No, not even one of. I'll say it was the best concert I've ever been to.
I'm wondering if it is the best. I definitely know it's top 3, but I'm not sure if it's the best, but I really didn't.
Dude, it was just so good. It was weird and awesome and empowering and fun.
Is it right?
And slightly sacrilegious, but then also hot at the same time.
Yeah. What are we gonna? Weird. Are we gonna talk about the concert now?
We'll talk about the concert after we talk about
Okay,
everything.
cool. Okay,
and we'll talk about how it kind of ties into the media and everything.
Okay, so first let's talk about Kanye.
We'll talk about Kanye. We'll dive into Kanye right now. Here we go.
Kanye West is his real name.
Yeah, Kanye West is his real name. He, as some of you may or may not know, he's a rapper.
What?
But he's very different from most rappers.
Yeah.
Not just in the actions that he does, but specifically the things that he talks about. One of the things that made Kanye really awesome was the fact that he had such different content from everyone else that was in hip hop.
So Hood in his pink polo.
Look at you with them quotes ready to go.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna paint you guys a picture real fast. Back in the early days of rap, when you think about rap, especially older rap, early 2000s, we think of a scene with 50 Cent, and if we want to go before that, we think about Tupac and NWA.
Yeah, the gangsters.
Gangsters. And rap was very much around this concept of, hey, we came from the hood and we did hood rat shit, and we still do hood rat shit sometimes. Yeah, right. Don't get me wrong, there's some fantastic, amazing, incredible rap in that era too. Tupac is one of my favorite rappers. He's made some amazing songs, but overall, the general tone of rap, overall, as a whole, in terms of what was popular, was really gangster rap, which dealt a lot with, let's do a bunch of drugs, let's kill a bunch of people. And then out of nowhere, Kanye steps on the scene. And he comes out in 2004, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me double check.
Oh man, I remember he came out 2004ish era. I remember Dave Chappelle really liked him back in the day too. And one of my first experiences with him was seeing him on the Kanye West the Dave Chappelle block party, where he came out with Common.
That sounds awesome.
Oh yeah, no, it was like seriously. Like I remember hearing Jesus Walks, and I near cried. I was just like, that is so beautiful. My first experience with him was with like Gold Digger and Stronger. Things you hear on the radio. Yeah, and then, but then you get into the real stuff. So I didn't mean to interrupt though.
Oh no. Mm-hmm. Like it's important.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes onto the scene in like 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And he releases this album called The College Dropout.
Mm-hmm.
And it surprises everyone by doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it sells like crazy. And what's really poignant is...
College Dropout, drop and then flop. Then maybe he stopped saving all the good beats for himself.
Godswill's going to just come in there for all these old Kanye fans. They're just going to be like, oh, Godswill, you got it. You got it. No, but... So he comes out with this album called The College Dropout. And it's a very different rap album. This isn't a rap album that discusses necessarily killing people. It's a rap album that is popular, and it talks about racism and classism. It talks about the issues with the school system. It talks about so many different things, and it operates on a level that is just so different. Mm-hmm. Like he doesn't even play the same game that these other rappers play.
Not at all.
Not at all. He raps, especially with his older content, like especially with like his first few albums, he raps about a lot of really real content.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Walks, that was my first taste into all this.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, whoa, someone's talking about God in a non-corny way at all? Okay, I'm down.
Yeah, and it's like this album is very poignant, especially because of one of his last tracks. It was actually his last track on that album called Last Call. And mm-hmm. he details the arduous process, which was trying to get an album mm-hmm. released. Mm-hmm. Because everyone painted rappers in this like light where it's like, okay, you need to like sag your pants this much, you need to have your hats broken off, you need to you know what I mean, like you need to be from this area, you need to speak like this, you need to talk about this, otherwise things won't sell. Mm-hmm. And so for the longest time, Kanye couldn't get any recognition at all. Mm-hmm. Kanye was broke, and he couldn't get any recognition at all aside from being a producer. And so when The College Dropout first happened, it was the first almost movement for a lot of people.
Yeah, like
it
a
was
new rap
shift.
movement for sure. Yeah, exactly.
A shift, and it alerted people to essentially kind of showcase that rap could be more than just being about, hey, killing people. Why don't we talk about some real stuff? And I'm not saying that there weren't people before mm-hmm. that talked about real stuff in their raps. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not disrespecting any of those people at all. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that Kanye did it better than these people. What I'm saying is that he was the first person who really gained
mainstream level.
Yeah, he was like the first mainstream
mm-hmm.
artist who was so impactful. Mm-hmm. He sold so many albums talking about something so different. Mm-hmm. And Kanye was especially known back then for his really great wordplay. Like, his wordplay is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are just like, oh, rap has like no skill to write at all. Listen to like one of Kanye's verses. There are like double and triple entendres. There's so much imagery. Like, to write a rap verse is, as well as Kanye does, mm-hmm. is so difficult. I'm not saying he's the best rapper, mm-hmm. but he's a really very good, very talented rapper.
One thing I really like about him is like he's very easy to listen to. Like, you can definitely hear like most everything he says. One problem I always have with some rappers is like, it's hard to hear what they're saying, I guess, like, but
show you, what?
Yeah, right. I mean,
shake that ass, girl.
Oh, that I didn't want to hear anyways, but all the girls, but anyways, this, like, for him, like, he, like, definitely like what Justin said, like, he uses like all these things you learned in your English class, where like, it's like, oh, what's a double entendre? What is I rhyme? What is end rhyme?
What's
like
a slant rhyme? And
yeah.
He uses all these different parts, and he just creates something beautiful. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. So amazing.
Okay. So yeah, that was his first big splash on the scene, was The College Dropout. Mm-hmm. 2004. 2005 rolls out, and he comes out with this next album called Late Registration. And this album is fantastic. It's known for, it continues some of the themes that were in The College Dropout, mm-hmm. and he builds on them. He also addresses some of his issues with now being kind of famous. Mm-hmm. Some of the big tracks from there that people might know are Diamonds from Sierra Leone, where he talks about
diamonds are forever.
Yeah. In that track, he talks about like the really messed up process on how about he
of
talks
actually
about like
getting
blood,
recognition.
of actually getting recognition, but he also talks about like blood diamonds, for example.
In the remix.
He ties it. Yeah, that's
it's because someone called him out originally. I know Lupe did a remix of diamonds from Sierra Leone called it Conflicts Diamonds, and then like where he was like, "This is a real situation," and then Kanye didn't put him on blast. He was like, "Oh yeah, you're so right," and then he did the remix.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how Lupe and Kanye got to know each other.
And then they had a song on the album together.
My favorite song, Kanye song of all time, "Touch the Sky."
Touch the Sky.
Yeah,
that is a really inspiring song. Which album? Okay, real fast. Was it also this album where it was Heard Him Say? It was this album.
Wait, no, Heard Him Say. Wait,
it was
sure?
Late Registration. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I knew I was gonna see you again. Wake up, Mr. West. Wake up, Mr. West.
Yeah.
Okay. In this album, so this album is known for a couple of tracks. It's Heard Him Say, for example. That's one of my favorite Kanye tracks. It has Adam Levine from Maroon 5. And it's a really soulful song, you know, and it's a very simple song.
Yeah, that's something like a whole theme, like this. Like I always say, this is his most soulful album.
Yes,
where he's talking about like family. He's talking about, like Hey Mama or family business. Heard him say. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you again.
No, it's all good.
This
is a discussion. Jump in when you.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, definitely his most soulful. Definitely people really like it. I keep thinking Slow Jams. Where he's with Twista and Jamie Foxx. Is it Jamie Foxx is on that one, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
And definitely he's talking about like
that Django beat though.
Yeah, right. Right. I was actually just looking at the Django poster too. It's like Jamie Foxx. Jeez.
Dude, Jamie Foxx is too much.
Right. But definitely his most soulful album. And you'll hear a lot of people talk about like why they like that. It's very real.
Yeah. Oh, it is such a real album.
Very substance filled.
It's something that I identify with a lot because it talks about college and the process of getting a degree and what it means and what it ends up actually meaning to a lot of people. And so I actually really listened to it all the way through my senior year.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Wait, you mean this year or high school?
I'm saying this year.
Oh, dang. Okay.
This year was when I listened to it all the way through.
Dang, okay.
I was just like, wow, I feel like all of this right now. It's crazy. But yeah, it definitely builds off of some of the themes from the previous album, and it's just a really good album to listen to. It's very soulful. So both of these albums kind of characterize the soulful side of Kanye.
Exactly. It's more introspective. Especially as you keep going further, it's the more humble, I guess, of the. Yeah,
it's definitely, he's definitely a lot more humble.
The most humble is coming up, but like it's more humble, whereas like he just started and he's sort of like a young pup on the scene. Yeah.
And it's just a very well recognized album.
Yeah.
If I remember right, Rolling Stone named it as one of the best albums.
Really?
Like of all time.
Dang, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a very good album for sure.
So moving on to.
So we should move on. Okay, so from there. Okay, so that was 2000. Let's see. So let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
2004, he comes on the scene with his album that sounds way different from everyone else's, and it does really well. It's called College Dropout, and it's known for some singles like Jesus Walks, for example. And that album touches a lot on racism, classism, etc.
Yeah.
And he continues these themes on his next album called Late Registration, and that's 2005. And so now we have this artist who's really been building a lot of momentum. He's starting to make like a shift in hip hop from solely being about gangster rap to being more about whatever is on your mind. Everyone has their own struggles. Everyone has their own conflicts. And Kanye was one of those people that really pushed it to the front, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that this change in hip hop is most showcased in his 2007 release, which is Graduation.
This is one that most everyone knows. You probably heard singles on the radio.
Yeah, you definitely heard singles on the radio.
That's where this is where I first got introduced to him, and
like Stronger.
Yeah, I didn't really like that song, but like
Stronger is like the Kanye West song that everyone has for some reason. You know, but this is known for songs like Stronger, for example.
Homecoming.
Yeah.
Where he did with Coldplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the singer from Coldplay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this album was really important because what a lot of people don't know is this album and 50 Cent's album, if I remember right, dropped on the same day or at least the same week. Maybe the same month. But if they dropped really close, and 50 Cent and Kanye had like a bet between each other on whose would sell more. And Kanye destroyed 50
Yeah, like I didn't even know
sales.
53.
He destroyed 50 Cent in terms of album sales and also in terms of critical sales. Like the critics were behind Kanye, the people were behind Kanye, and this was a giant shift. Like this was like the milestone, in my opinion, where that style of rap was really recognized. You know, like people. It wasn't so much as Kanye like struggling to prove himself. It was like, hey, I made it. I did it. Like this is mine now. Yeah, this is okay now. I've taken it and I've made it cool.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely see like that sort of superstardom in this whole album. Yeah, like Can't Tell Me Nothing or Flashing Lights. Like I just think like I was about to say Big Brother, but there's one more like he's like
Good Life.
Yeah, Good Life. There we go. Perfect. Where definitely he's like I made it. Yeah, like, I did it. I guess like other albums in the future is like I made it or so, but like definitely this is like he's very comfortable in his own skin. He's very aware of like how famous he is, and people are aware of how famous he is too.
It's like the first two albums like very soulful. The first album I guess can be categorized with him being like I want to make it. The second album is more categorized with I've kind of made it, but there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be addressed and a lot of stuff that I like to address. Yeah, and a lot of stuff that I want to do. Yeah, and then this third album is like his victory lap. He's like, I did it.
Champion. Do you realize you were champion in their eyes? Yes, I did.
And so it's just a really interesting album overall. Definitely a lot of great hits on there for sure. I Wonder is my personal favorite.
Yeah, like, and I Wonder, like, that's one of my favorites too. Yeah. My brother said that that was one of the songs that got him through like a really tough time in his life. So,
dude, definitely. I actually listened to that song after I took my last exam.
Yeah, really.
And as I was driving back, I listened to that song. I originally planned for it to be after I graduated. Yeah. Like after I walked. Oh dang. I'd throw it in my car. I'd get in my car with my cap and gown or whatever, just listen to it. But because of the Ice Apocalypse, my graduation got canceled.
Damn you, Ice Apocalypse.
It's all good. So I ended up listening to it after my last exam, and it's just a really moving song.
It really is.
For me personally. So yeah, that was just definitely a really big monumental moment for hip hop, and especially for Kanye West.
Exactly.
And then we get into 2008.
Oh my!
Where there is a lot of controversy. So Kanye West has already established himself as this person, and his beats have kind of been a little bit more on the soulful side. And then he releases this really controversial album at the time. Nowadays, it's pretty well regarded.
It's a lot more accepted.
It's a lot more accepted now, but at the time, it was one of those albums where people were like, what is this? What are you doing?
How dare you?
What are you doing? But in hindsight, it was one of the most impactful, not only in terms of hip hop, but in terms of the movement of music as a whole. It was one of the most impactful albums, in my opinion. And that is 808s and Heartbreak. In 2008, a lot of crazy stuff happened to Kanye.
Yeah, unfortunate.
His mom died.
Yeah, like due to like plastic surgery too.
Yeah, due to complications from plastic surgery.
Jesus.
And that essentially made Kanye blame himself because he felt that his mom had to have this sort of image to uphold now that her son was this. And so his mom died. He went through a really bad breakup. He was just like
he broke up with his fiance.
Yeah, with his fiance. It was all bad. It was just a really bad time in Kanye's life. But through all of that, he makes this great really music. Mournful album. Yeah. And it's my go-to rainy day album. My go-to whenever I'm like down about like.
Me too. Actually,
my go-to Lady Troubles album.
Me too.
And this album is a very different album. Even to call it like a hip hop album is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
Then it's like, what do you characterize it as? Though
you can't.
I mean, like definitely there's like some good raps, like whereas.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good raps on there for sure. But there are hip hop elements. Yeah. You know, but. I think that this is one of those albums. This and a lot of Kanye's work from this point on serve to destroy the concept of genres as a whole, which I really appreciate. You know, like genres, I feel kind of a side note, but genres I feel overall are very limiting. You know, because
you have to have a certain sound.
It's like you have to have a certain sound to fit this, and only certain types of people will like this. You know, and I don't really care for that. There's a lot of like if you, for example, like Taylor Swift. she's like a country singer, right?
Yeah.
But then if you listen to like Trouble, that has dubstep elements, like it has pop elements. You know, there's
to any Taylor Swift. I'm sorry.
You ain't got the answers, Godswill. You ain't got the answers. I've been doing this more than you. So Kanye comes up with this album called 808s and Heartbreak, and it is a divisive album. Not only but for the critics. The critics are divided on it, but also his fan base. His fan base is ripped in half because of this album. A lot of people are like, man, Kanye sold out. Man, fuck Kanye. But what people don't realize is that this was the realest, like, album that Kanye had done.
He was so vulnerable, like, in this.
So vulnerable.
And you could definitely hear that, like, in most, if not all, the songs right here. Especially the ending song.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The last song on this album is called Pinocchio Story. And I remember when I first listened to this album back in the day, I'd always skip this track.
Yeah, me too.
It. And then I listened to it again recently, actually this year. And it is one of the saddest things I've ever heard in my life. And it is Kanye freestyling at one of his concerts. And he's talking about a lot of personal things.
Yeah, Kanye!
Yeah, he's talking about a lot of really, really personal things. And he's talking about how fame has destroyed him to some instance. And how he wants to feel like a real person and not just some kind of an idol. Or he doesn't want to feel just like a celebrity, but he wants to feel like a person. And the song is so depressing because he's doing it live in front of like at one of his concerts, and people are like screaming and cheering. Yeah, Kanye! Like, yeah, Kanye! And he's talking about like how he feels responsible for like how like his mom died and all of this stuff. And it's just so sad. Like the juxtaposition of Kanye being as real as he possibly can and a crowd of people not getting it is essentially the heart of this album. And it's proven through like when he released that album how people didn't get it. You know?
Yep. I mean, it's funny because like what he said like in the current interview is like how he makes his music for the future, where like people won't get it now, but in a few years' time, 10 years' time, they'll be ready and it'll make a lot more sense.
And this was definitely a big case of this because this is one of those albums that is cited by a lot of the upcoming rappers that are of like the 2000, the late, I suppose like the early 10s.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Kid Cudi, Drake, like all these people really.
A lot more emotional.
Yeah. All these people really equate some of their styles to that album specifically because here Kanye made it all right for a rapper to essentially talk about relationships and feelings, like actual feelings, like legitimate feelings, like feelings of failure, feelings of rejection, feelings of loneliness, etc. These are topics that have kind of been touched on, but not
never
to the extent,
really like this. Yeah,
not to the extent. And it's just a beautiful album.
Yeah,
like you won't get it the first time. I definitely didn't.
Yeah,
but.
For me, actually, I really liked it like when it came out because like when I was having a tough time, like I felt the most alone like I've ever been. Like like family was doing whatever. High school, I would actually eat lunch alone like during this time. Yeah, I mean, I
know them feels.
Yeah, dude, and it's just like shoot, like it was the most alone that I've ever been, and like this album like sort of comforted me, like so that's why like I really appreciate it. Also, I guess that's why like I'm such a big Kanye fan because I guess it comes like at good times for me where it's just like I guess the future album that we're going to talk about soon came at a good time for me again too. So we'll talk about it when it comes up.
Oh yeah. For me, like on this album, definitely the highlight for this album for me is this song called Streetlights.
Oh, that's my go-to.
It's like one of those songs that I put on whenever I'm very contemplative.
Yeah. I put that when I'm very sad.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
Okay.
But whenever a lot of things are on my mind, good or bad, I always put on that song, and it gives me a moment of clarity. And it's just a beautiful song, and I encourage all of you to listen to it. If nothing else, like listen to that song specifically.
Most definitely,
because it's definitely one of my favorite songs. And one of my favorite Kanye songs as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Well, I guess let's keep it moving.
Yeah, let's keep it moving. So after that, we come to my favorite Kanye album, personally. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. In my opinion, this is the greatest hip hop album ever made. I know that's a big controversial statement, but it's my favorite Kanye album. It's like the best hip hop album / rap album I've ever heard in my life, and it's incredible. It's Kanye at his best on both ends of the spectrum. Though production on this album, amazing. The rap, the lyrics, the content, fantastic. It's just a well-produced, well-oiled machine of an album. And this was also crafted through some of the depression that Kanye was going through. He took it and he turned it into My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And it's just such a heavy-hitting album. It covers a lot of different content, and it just paints this story of fame and love and loss and everything. And it's just really beautiful to listen to. And the samples are just really good. Really, really good. Really interesting too.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that Kanye's really well known for. Like, we may have touched on it slightly, but all of Kanye's samples are really obscure, but they're also like really interesting, and they help you discover a lot of really other, like a lot of other music that's really interesting.
That's true. I remember like this album. This is where I first heard of Bon Iver.
Bon Iver.
Yeah, and definitely I guess like sort of indie side.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's a very, very important album, and in my opinion, it's going to be one of those really like massive albums. Like when people think back, like this is going to be one of the biggest albums like of all time. Fantastic tracks on there like Runaway. Power.
That's my favorite.
Power's really
Is it
good.
my favorite? I think it's my favorite song on there.
Let's see. For me, I think Blame Game might be my favorite.
Yeah, because of Chris
really,
Rock.
really good.
Like for me, like I love it because of Chris Rock. I mean, like, cause the first half of it, or the first half, it's very sad.
Yeah, and then it's like a monologue that's like funny, but it's also kind of depressing.
I thought it was so much more. I mean, I guess if you like really just think of like the words of what he's saying, I guess it's just like, oh man, I'm getting cheated on. But
yeah, and Bon Iver is in that song, which is one of my, actually it might be my favorite on the album. Actually, it's hard to say. Like this, I like the entire album. The whole album
is very good. Like I really like.
There's no song that I would skip. Like the whole album's really good. But he closes it out with this track called "Lost in the World," which is the perfect summation of that album as a whole. And it talks about Kanye trying to figure himself out, essentially. And I identify with that a lot because it's like you do a lot and you get a lot of recognition for a lot of the things that you do, maybe, but you're not sure if this is what you wanted all along. And he equates that with a couple of his lines like, let's break out of this fake ass party, turn this into a classic night. Like it's almost as if he sees the culture and he wants to get away from it, but he can't. Okay.
Never really thought of it like that. Like I just always like, oh, okay, you're just leaving a party to go to a cool thing.
There's a lot of like really intense imagery in there. You definitely need to like have Rap Genius over
most definitely. Like because definitely I like hearing it, but I hadn't like really analyzed it as much. The only song I guess I like really analyzed was Power.
Power was just him being like, fuck everybody.
And I really like that. Like that's my go-to song on that album.
Oh yeah.
Just like, yeah, I'm the boss. I like it. Everyone doesn't like me. Well, F them. I'm gonna do my own thing. Yeah. Abomination of Obama's nation.
But yeah, definitely a really like it's my favorite album.
That's my jam.
It's hard for me to exactly categorize all the reasons why I love it.
There's a lot,
but it's something that everyone should listen to. Definitely.
It's not my favorite album, but I really do like it and appreciate it, especially like hearing you talk about it.
Yeah.
It's sort of hard to understand like which is my favorite album. Like,
it's hard because they're all that's the amazing thing about Kanye is he has all these albums.
Yeah.
And each one is unique in their own way, especially like as they go on, like they sound different, but they're all critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
And they're all like commercially successful.
Yeah, it's like
amazing.
It's like a smart Asian kid's grade, you know? Like it's like A, you know, there might be like 92, 94, 98, 97, but it's all really high ranked. Maybe one B plus, but like
because his B plus would probably be like Watch the Throne.
Yeah. Nah.
Cruel Summer?
Sort of.
Cruel Summer's like a B.
Yeah. I was.
Cruel Summer's like a B minus.
I would say like that's a group project that he and then
group project those group members that put in. We'll get to Cruel Summer in a little bit, maybe.
And
yeah. So then we have like a small break from Kanye, and he comes out the next year with Watch the Throne, which is his collaboration album.
I really liked it. I can understand what you like.
I had a lot of problems with it at first because a lot of the album is like, Hey Kanye, you got so much money? Yeah, Jay-Z, you got so much money? What do we rap about it? I'll make an entire album. How much money we got? What's the throne, bitches?
Right.
But honestly, like when you even when you dive into that album, you'll see a lot of progressive production. Like in terms of like a lot of the production of the album is very futuristic.
Mm-hmm.
Like the styles are just now being implemented more I guess worldwide in terms of music.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like music that because of like that album specifically, which is interesting. But if you really dive into that album, you'll see actually some really deep themes, like "Murder for Excellence."
Mm-hmm.
That song talks a lot about the
black killings and the sort of violence that goes on in the streets.
Violence in streets and stuff. But not in like it's not in like a glorifying way at all, but in a very mournful way.
Yeah.
We're getting to that.
Yeah, I know. I just felt like it was perfect for that song. But yeah, you're right. I'm trying to also think if there's like any like definitely like I agree with you. Is like the content is pretty bad, or like in the terms of like there's nothing that's really substantial.
I mean, it has its moments.
Yeah, except for like murder only. Like I'm going through my head. It's like, is there anything that's like really? And I was like, that's my bitch. They're like, that's my bitch. It's just like, no. But I really like it because it's fun. Like it's like,
it's definitely like,
it's fun that I can enjoy, because I don't enjoy like Future or like Drop the Ass Girl or whatever. Like
most mainstream rap sucks. But this is like well produced.
Yeah, well produced.
Clean album.
Like definitely like the wordplay.
But
yeah, right. The wordplay is wonderful. Like I feel like it's them competing against each other.
Yeah, and they have fun with it.
Exactly.
They have fun with it.
It's like friendly sparring of like giants or something like that.
And let's not forget, because of that album, Frank Ocean really came to prominence.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love Frank Ocean. Mm-hmm. Frank Ocean is awesome, and the first track on that album, it has Frank Ocean doing the hook, and it's so good. No Tricks in the Wild. It's probably my favorite track.
I didn't like it until later on, I guess, when Frank Ocean became more prominent. Like I was just like, that was my skip song, but like I really
Dude, that's like my favorite song.
Like I like it a lot more now.
Good.
But definitely, like I enjoy the album, even though like the content definitely lacking. It is not like substance in it, but like it's fun. I mean, who doesn't like singing "Niggas in Paris"? I don't even say that word, but like I enjoy the song. Like I enjoy just acting a fool whenever it comes on, and they going gorillas, huh?
I don't know what that means. No one knows what it means.
I remember the first time I heard that, I was just like, what the heck? Like, is this supposed to be on here?
Don't let me get my zone.
It's a good song.
Okay, so after that, he releases an album called Cruel Summer, which is kind of like a collaboration album.
I think that's his weakest thing so far.
Oh, yeah. But it's not just Kanye. That's why.
Yeah. Too Many Cooks in the kitchen.
Too Many Cooks. His appearances are really good, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, To the World is a great song.
To the world, to the world, to the world.
Yeah, with R. Kelly and Kanye West. It's a weird combination.
Weird, yeah, right? Well. Like, I never imagined that. Like, definitely he brings together his good music collaboration, which is like his label that he has. Mm-hmm. And he brings them all together to do a lot of different songs. Like, there's songs that he's not even featured on. Like, for example, Bliss. Like with John Legend and Tatiana or whatever the chick's name is.
I can't remember.
I like that song. I remember people saying they don't like it, but I think it's his weakest work so far because, like we said,
he
too
wasn't
many people
like solely involved.
Exactly, and but it was like a cool sort of demo reel for like so many of these different artists.
It gave a lot of exposure to a lot of
exactly.
New people,
I mean,
so
we wouldn't know Chief Keef if it was, although that's not really a good thing.
Keef.
I don't like him either. Like it's like, what do you do? Like when it comes to this, don't like. All I listen to is the first part. After Kanye is done, skip. Like I don't. Whatever.
Fuck Chief Keef.
Right.
I don't like Chief Keef.
I don't like him, but
whatever.
Yeah, but like otherwise, like it's pretty cool. Like it's just pretty much like Click is like what the song is about, like what this album's about. Like where it's like. This is me and my crew.
Yeah, this is me. This is my crew. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, and we're gonna run music in the future. So watch out.
Yeah. And that's like a okay album, I guess.
Yeah.
It's definitely not.
It's his B- of the group.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally he released Yeezus.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard Yeezus, I really did not like that album at all. I still think it's Kanye's like
weakest
worst. I still think it's his weakest solo album, but I still like it.
Yeah, it's his B+,
I like it now.
or B+.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, for me it was like the first time I heard Jesus, I hated it. The second time I was like, why am I listening to this again?
Mm-hmm.
The third time I listened to it, I was like, am I seriously still listening to it? But the fourth time I was like, this was dope. I don't know. I don't know.
That's when we made a review about it.
Yeah, man. Like I don't really know why. It just takes a long time for you to process
it does.
everything.
Yeah, like
stylistically it's very different.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you first hear on site. It's just like, what the heck?
It's just noise, but then like you really listen to it, you're just like, oh wow.
I still don't like on site that much.
Dude, I like it after the concert. I'm like, outside.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it. Like that concert.
Like after the concert made everything right, but like
maybe that's the best way to talk about Yeezus is to talk about the concert.
Yeah. Okay. So the concert was for Yeezus.
He performed every track on that album along with some of his older tracks. Yeah.
Did he? I mean,
every single song on that album.
I felt like he might skip something.
No, he didn't skip anything. I counted.
He did Guilt Trip. Okay. I guess so. Because like I felt like he didn't do all of his songs like on Yeezus.
No, he did every single song.
Wow. Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So like he went. Okay, so like I guess like the Yeezus concert broke up into 2 halves or so, right?
I'd say like 3 parts.
Yeah, 3 parts maybe. Okay. The first part is like it's Yeezus and it's Cruel Summer, right? Or is it just pretty much all Yeezus?
It's mostly Yeezus. It's like I think the first part is like the first half of Yeezus is Kanye being like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like
he's wearing his weird
he's like,
mask.
I don't give a fuck. He's got like this weird mask on and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah. And there's just so much weirdness that's coming out. So much weirdness. I guess we're gonna go into that later.
Yeah, we can go into it as we talk about it.
Okay, so yeah, I mean like the weirdness that comes out first is like the women like with the pantyhose on their face.
Yeah, these women are like wearing like these like skin colored like bodysuits.
Yeah,
and I think they might be naked underneath. I'm not sure.
I don't think they were, but
it's just really weird. We're just like, I don't know if this is attractive or not.
Yeah, exactly right. There's a demon. There's a demon that comes out. There is Pride Rock Ice.
Yeah,
thing.
we really should just talk about that concert.
Let's just talk about it, yeah, and then we'll talk about it.
There's not much to know about Yeezus except that Blood on the Leaves is amazing, and it's Blood on the Leaves is probably like one of the best songs that Kanye's ever done, for sure.
Yep.
And the whole album is essentially him being like, I'm gonna make music for me.
Yeah.
And it
was very experimental, where he's like, I'm gonna see what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it takes like a lot of listens to get into, but after that you will get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the concert though, so this concert like opens up, and
first it's Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, it's Kendrick Lamar first.
Yeah, right? And he does a pretty good job. I mean, for me, I wasn't as phased, I guess, because I saw Kendrick in concert a few months ago. Yeah, like not too long ago, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I enjoyed it, but then Kanye comes out. Or were you about to say anything about Kendrick?
No, man, Kendrick was great. You know, he had pyrotechnics, and it was like the pre-show was like, what?
Yeah, like
this concert's gonna be hype.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the pre-show was pretty good. I mean, you wouldn't expect. I thought it would be like, okay, here's one song. Okay, I'm out.
No, he performed like a pretty good set.
Yeah,
and it was just great.
Exactly.
And so Kanye like takes like an hour to set up.
Yeah,
of course.
Oh wow, yeah, right.
He has like this mountain.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call it Mount Kanye.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he starts his concert off, and like you see like these women come out, and they're like in this skin like these like skin colored, skin tight suits. I guess. You know like morph suits.
Yeah.
They're like those, but it's like skin colored, so it's like just looks really weird. Like these bodysuits.
I mean, we knew it was gonna be a weird concert, but we didn't know how.
You took it to the next level.
Yeah.
If him and Lady Gaga did a concert together, that'd be the weirdest shit I ever seen in my life.
Oh, that would give nightmares.
So weird. It would be dope, but it'd be weird.
Yeah.
So he comes out with all these ladies, and there's like this weird like chant in the background. He's like, I am not here right now. It's like I am at home right now, and he comes out wearing this mask, and On Sight finally drops, and the ladies are doing like this really weird cryptic kind of like almost dance kind of thing behind him, and he's just like rapping it.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be so weird.
The show is progressive, and more and more weird stuff happens. Mm-hmm. All right, straight up in the middle of one of his songs, the stage rises. Right, the stage rises. Like take your arm, rest your arm against like your desk or something, right, and don't move your elbow, but like raise your hand up. That's like what the stage does, straight up. Mm-hmm. The stage straight up like rises like that.
That's a good 45-degree angle.
Okay. Yeah, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Kanye like disappears for a second, and this is when he's about to get into his really introspective like set on Yeezus. And this demon comes out. And this demon looks like a lion almost.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh wow, what's he doing? And I realized as the demon walks up that slope, that rise that Kanye made, I was like, oh my God, Kanye just made his stage and turned it into Pride Rock from
I didn't see it until like after Justin said that. I was like, oh wow, wow. Because this demon is like this black furry thing that has red eyes.
It is totally a lion.
Yeah, I guess so. Like I mean,
there's a lion on Pride Rock, and it's like, and it's you just see it for like the next third of the show is him is because the next third of like the content that he performs is him dealing with his demons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is really interesting. You know, he gets into some songs like Guilt Trip.
Mm-hmm.
He gets into songs like Blood on the Leaves. And then after that, the mountain, like there's plenty of weird stuff for sure.
Oh yeah.
But the mountain ends up splitting open.
Yeah,
and there's white light, and Kanye walks through that, right? But before Kanye walks through that, there's literally a church service. Like the ladies come back out, and they're doing like a church. They're like just like his altar boys and stuff. They got like censers and stuff, you know. And they set up like a little podium, like where like a pastor would speak, right? Kanye comes out, pulls the cloth off the podium. And he's just looking around for a little bit, and we're just like, okay, Kanye's about to speak. No, he pulls the cloth off. It's a tiny little piano, and he plays the first note from Runaway.
Yeah, right.
And everyone in the
goes nuts,
goes crazy.
Oh my God, that was legit. I was like, whoa, he's doing that, you know? Because I thought it would be just only Visas and that's it, you know?
No.
And it was awesome. We skipped over things before all that happened.
Oh, there's so much stuff though.
Like, so like with the women, like
Kanye has a song called "I Am a God," and this is during like the first half, third, really end of the first third, like almost to the second third, where he's like, okay, I don't give a fuck, but he also like is about to confront some of his demons. He's got this song called "I Am a God," which I don't really care for that much.
Yeah, me too.
But he's straight up like has like a chair, like the girl is like formed into like a chair. It's like the Game of Thrones chair, except it's a chair
made of women.
I'm like,
that are near nude, right?
What?
And he sits on it,
and they lift him up, and like they're just screaming, and it's like uncomfortable to watch. It's like, should I be enjoying this? And then you're like, oh my God,
that's how I felt too.
This is the point of the song though, where it's like he's like, I am a god, but he's not. He's almost like uncomfortable with it.
Yeah,
you know, like it's like the status that he's been elevated to because of his role in society. Like this is like the status he's been elevated to, but it leads to new demons and stuff. You know, and he's you know, like he's on this pedestal, but he's not okay with it. You know, he has a lot of issues with it, and that's why like the second half deals with his demons and stuff.
Wow, that's
wow.
Right? Because I didn't realize that until right now, actually.
And for all of you,
that's amazing.
And for our folks that are still like sticking with us, like, okay, but how does this deal with Kanye? I still don't like how Kanye interprets himself, like what he does with like whenever he's on the pedestal, he always like how the media paints him. Like, I don't like Kanye as a person. Like, I'll get to that in a second. I promise.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it in a second.
Right? Everything will tie in at the end. I promise. I'm just laying little seeds. I'm just laying little seeds for everyone, and everything's gonna tie in and make a nice, beautiful picture. So then skip forward. This is the third part after when the mountain splits open. This is the third act. He talks about he starts performing some of his older music now, right? And so he's just done the set with he just done Runaway. He starts performing some of his older music.
We all go bonkers, by the way.
Was it?
We all go bonkers, by the way.
Yeah, we all go
insane
music. With all of his old music. It's so good. It's so good. And he performs this song, and then we hear this immaculate music. And who else walks through Mount Kanye, which has been split open with a white light in the middle? Who else walks through than a white guy dressed as Jesus? White Jesus shows up to Kanye's concerts. Kanye's turning around, and he's just kneeling. And Jesus walks up to Kanye, and Kanye's just like, Jesus. And Jesus, he's like, Kanye's on his knees. Jesus goes and gives Kanye a blessing, turns around, and the beat for Jesus Walks drops.
Oh my god, there we go.
Jesus Walks.
Oh my god, I crack up and
funniest, weirdest,
the funniest, and also the
sacrilegiously awesome thing I've ever like. It was
the weirdest and the best thing ever. It was just like, I can't believe he did that, but this is awesome.
I can't believe it's not Kanye.
It's like, what up, white Jesus? Like, didn't he say like, what up, white Jesus?
No, he didn't say what up, white Jesus.
He said that during the end,
he
though.
He just said Jesus.
No, he said white Jesus.
Oh, yeah,
he
right.
did.
Like, what up, white Jesus?
Yeah, he said that. Like, I was just like, wow.
It was ridiculous, but it was awesome.
Yeah, so I loved it. Like, should we post any of these videos that we have? Or
no, I don't think
pictures?
We won't be able to because I won't have time to edit everything.
Okay. But oh my god, that was.
It's ridiculous. If you don't believe it, like, YouTube it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, you can find clips on YouTube and stuff. It's ridiculous.
It was amazing. And then like he just goes in with like all of his old music. He didn't go with all like his hits, but he did like quite a bit. Like he starts off with the third. He starts off with Stronger, I believe, right? Like once like after his rant, right? And then like you can actually see his face. Like he takes off the mask
to address Jesus.
Mm-hmm. And that's when he becomes normal Kanye, so somewhat. I wonder what the mask represents now.
I don't really know. Like
you're the one who's come up with all the answers. You were the one who.
I guess the mask is when he takes out the mask, it's him being just him.
Okay.
That's as deep as I can.
But then what does the mask represent now? Maybe like how he's trying to hide or something like that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, maybe we figured it out. I don't know. But yeah, the third, he takes off his mask like after he does a rant about like how he's trying to break in to just being him, being able to do him as best as possible, and how so many people are trying to keep him down. Something he's been saying on a lot of his interviews recently, like
with Sway, which is the joke that's kind of
yeah
you ain't got the answers,
which I thought that was weird, like how he just went off on Sway like that. It's just like, yo, man.
Did you watch the whole interview?
I did.
Okay, yeah, because then it makes a little bit more sense.
But still, I mean,
he shouldn't have.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think it's weird. I mean, like, I do think like he's like, he's so frustrated about like. We'll talk about that later.
I mean, I think it could be a good segue if you want to segue.
Oh no! I want to finish up with the concert.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, third takes off his mask. Starts with Stronger, and well, I guess I don't have too much more to say. I mean, like he does like his old bangers, like All the Lights, Jesus Walks. I wish he did Touch the Sky and Last Call. If he did Last Call, it's done. Best concert ever. But he did a lot of good old songs. A lot of stuff from Graduation. Mm-hmm. Jesus Walks. Like for me, seeing him do Jesus Walks and all of his old stuff is like he hasn't forgot who he is. That's been an argument that a lot of people complain about with Yeezus. It was like, he forgot who he is, or he's all that way, right?
I think that Yeezus was one of the most Kanye West things Kanye West has
yeah, not like he sold that. He definitely didn't sell it with New Slaves or anything like that.
No,
but
it's just making music.
You have heard the argument, like so many people were like, whereas the old Kanye West, You have heard that, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And
I mean, because
you still see glimpses of old Kanye on Yeezus with Bound 2. That's one of the most soulful songs like Kanye's ever made.
True, I guess. I mean, I'll do
like especially with the sampling.
Yeah,
that's like you could throw that. You'd think that Bound 2 was a deleted track off of Late Registration.
Maybe. Nah, I think it was still too weird. For me personally, I thought it was really weird.
That. Hey man, I'm not saying the music video. I'm just saying.
No. Like I was just saying, like even like the sound of the song, like the music video, and like I mean, whatever. I think it's still sort of weird. But I like it though.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, concert was amazing. I'm really glad we risked our lives to go out through the ice.
It was a great concert, fantastic concert.
Yes, and I feel bad for my boy Sam, who was supposed to come with us, but he couldn't make it because it closed down the border apparently from Oklahoma to Texas or something like that. I don't know, but I feel bad for him.
Poor Sam.
Yeah,
I want to meet this dude.
He's a cool dude.
So I guess now we can get into the media segment, so to say. There's been a lot of the media has done a lot. There's been a lot of speculation. A lot of people think Kanye West is an asshole, which I will stand by. Kanye can come off as an asshole. You know what I mean? He definitely does a lot of things that he shouldn't.
My boy Sam said something that I just thought was so profound about Kanye, where it's like he's sort of autistic in a sense.
Dude, Kanye, I can totally see Kanye.
It's like where like he, definitely doesn't have that filter in a sense, but he's like savant in a sense. Like when it comes to music, he doesn't know how to speak the best. You see him in his interviews and like he's struggling like with like how to say the best things. His interviews is just like,
yeah,
what the hell? Like, what does that even mean?
He actually, like, if you actually go and listen to some of the things that Kanye has said, especially in interviews and stuff, you'll find some of the most inspirational things that people have said. Like his interview with Jimmy Kimmel, I gotta showcase this because the last part of this, he specifically says, like, people don't want you to go and say you'll do stuff and then go put that in motion. People would rather you fail and just stay on their level because that's what they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, that's like, like he even says, like, I refuse to be a part of that system that tears people down. So and prohibits them from chasing their dreams. And I'm just like, that's awesome. Like there's a lot of like shitty things Kanye's done. Like the thing about Kanye being like, I'm a proud non-book reader. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. I fucking love books. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like he said a lot of stupid shit for sure. Like, I'm not gonna be the person here,
the apologist
that's like, oh, Kanye's the fucking best and I worship the ground that he walks on. Like, he's not a perfect person. Dude definitely does not know how to conduct himself in public. But that being said, the situations that he's put in are fucking terrible. And he speaks out against this a lot.
I'm glad that he's so vocal about it.
Yeah, he's very vocal about it, and because of that, I feel like the media like paints him in a really shitty way.
Yeah, they definitely like to make fun of him.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Kanye West overreacts again when he's like smashing some dude's camera, but it's like there's people that are stalking him and his family at 4 a.m. when they're trying to get to the airport, when they're at their house. Like, and he's just trying to be like, just leave me alone for a second, like leave me alone. Like, I don't know, like I look at a lot of things that the paparazzi does in general. I find it all to be very slimy and disgusting, personally.
Most definitely.
But especially like the fact that Kanye speaks out against this and speaks out against like people, like the shady dealings of paparazzi, like, and the fact that he gets so much shit for that just makes me really sad.
I can get that, because
he in the end he comes off as an asshole because he's one of the few people in the industry that's willing to speak their mind. Yeah, not that many people do speak out against anything. Yeah, everyone is very very to the book. They say what their publicist tells them to say. They smile in the pictures that their publicist tells them to smile in. But Kanye just wants to do what he does to the fullest, and I find that respectable. Yeah, I find that respectable. I'm not going to say that everything he does under that idea is good. Like proud non-book reader. Like, fuck you, Kanye. You're stupid as shit for that. Right. You should know better. But I think overall, the reason that people think he's an asshole is just like a huge part of it is because of how the media's framed him.
I would say also timing. I mean, it's just like, but I mean, like, because it's so, I mean, for example, like with Taylor Swift, timing.
God damn it, Kanye.
Yeah, like with George Bush, timing. I mean, definitely, like, it definitely gets a point across as like, everyone's just like, wow, yeah, he really did say that. But
Kanye West is like music's Leroy Jenkins. He goes in too early, too hard. Right. You know what I mean? And at the end, you're just like, God damn it, Leroy.
You're right.
Kanye, you moron.
Right. And it's like, you sort of appreciate it, but there's just like, Kanye, come on,
Come on.
You're posting.
We were rooting for you.
Right, but it for me is funny now, like sort of seeing like what the media does to him. I'm glad he says these things. Definitely it gets me like pumped up to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I want now, like I not do what I want, but like definitely speak out.
Oh no, I definitely have a smile. I have a smile on my face every time Kanye smashes a camera. Yeah, like it makes me happy. I'm just like do it, just do it. Like that he made such a poignant remark at the end of his Jimmy Kimmel album. He's like next time you're harassing me and my family, don't ever forget that I'm come from Chicago. Right. He's like, oh shit.
Right. I'm gonna stand there in a Speedo and look like a effing hero. Right. It's because he does these things, it enables a lot more people to do what they do. I mean, I was just reading a Complex article. It's like how, or was it Complex? It was something like where like rap nerds have finally sort of took over, you know, like not the big gangsters anymore, but like the more intelligent,
intelligent, you know.
Exactly. So definitely it's awesome to, and he's the one who's enabled this, you know, like he's the one who's paving the way. Like he has to be the one to cut down the grass, so like that's, you know, like stopping the road, you know, which allows more people to go through it. And it sort of sucks that like he has to be like that sort of pathfinder, but then again, you know,
somebody's got to do it.
Exactly. And that's why like I'm really happy that he's doing it, you know. That's why I'm happy that he's saying these things, because someone needed to say something about that, you know. Someone needs to say something about all this crap, you know. Like I just feel like he keeps it real, so that's something I really appreciate him for. His music is great. He keeps it real, like in his music, no matter what. It's intelligent, or it can be dumb if you want it to, you know. Like the level that you're willing to go into this, that's the level you're gonna get out, you know. And it's amazing, you know. I mean, like there's not that much crap that he's done, and that like crap like in bad ways. I mean,
like I can't think of like a really, really bad Kanye song off of one of his albums.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't really like Stronger that much, but definitely I still get down with it.
I like Stronger, man.
I don't know. I just really don't care for it. But like then again, I still can get into it, and that's funny. It's like I can't think of any song that like I just dislike. You know, like for example, like Lupe or like Childish Gambino or you know, with anyone else.
Like Eminem's my favorite rapper, but I can think of plenty of Eminem songs that I don't like. I can think of Eminem albums that I don't like.
Oh yeah.
But
now with Kanye, even like his B minus stuff, you know.
Oh yeah. I guess we you know, like we've been talking about this for a long time. And I think I'll add like an annotation here for those who just kind of want the spark notes on Kanye on what to do, because we've been going really in depth. But I guess the spark notes on why Kanye is important and why I think everyone should listen to him is because here we have someone who sees the way the world is going and who sees the path on how things are progressing and knows that there is a way to do things, where there's a formulaic way to do things, where if you follow some kind of formula, you can achieve success. And he chooses to ignore them and succeeds on his own way. This is the core of Kanye West in everything that he does. This is the reason why he doesn't stand behind like a publicist and just, he's not like the puppet of a publicist, so to say. You know, this is the reason why his content sounds so different. This is the reason why in 2004 he was able to, in 2005 it was 2004. This is the reason why in 2004 he was able to release a hip hop album that wasn't about dealing drugs, but more so the people who are affected by drug dealings. This is the reason why Kanye can produce so many albums that sound different, that each sound unique, but are all critically and commercially acclaimed, because he sees the formula and he chooses to ignore it. To me, that is incredible.
Brave.
It's brave, and I'm glad that he has such an impact on music as a whole.
Yeah, exactly.
I think personally the best way to start out listening to Kanye wouldn't necessarily be his singles. Singles give you like a glimpse, but the way Kanye makes his albums is that they tell stories, and at best they're chapters out of a book. For someone to really appreciate Kanye as a whole, you need to listen to the entire narrative. I'm not going to say you're going to like the entire narrative, but I can almost guarantee that like people who listen to this, if they go listen to College Dropout right after listening to this podcast, I know they'll find a lot of new music that they once dismissed, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. Said it because I can't say any better. I mean, definitely there's a lot of positive Kanye things. Once you get to know him, like once you try to get to understand like why he's done these things, you know, like why he spoke out against whatever, or if you actually look at what he did speak out against, you know, it definitely doesn't seem so bad to me. I mean, I feel like I do think like the way he did it, dumb.
Yeah, he does stupid stuff. He makes mistakes, but in the end, he's a human being. Human beings make mistakes. It's true.
Exactly.
You know.
And yeah, I mean, definitely I really like his music. His music has always just wowed me, and once you start to understand that message of why he did that music or whatever,
why he said that thing,
yeah,
or anything, you could, yeah, it's some of the most inspiring things that you've ever heard.
Exactly. And I mean, that's what you said about the concert, like how come he, was screaming while he was being held up. I think that was amazing. Like how, like I was like, why is he doing that? But to understand that, it's like, whoa, that is amazing. Yeah. And like his whole life is a metaphor in a sense. Definitely you can learn something from it.
Definitely.
So
there's a lot of wisdom in there.
Exactly. So yeah, Kanye West, go grab yourself a copy or something like that. The whole discography,
definitely the entire discography is like really worth listening. But I suggest starting with the College Dropout.
Exactly. Start from the bottom.
Yeah.
Make it here.
If you guys if you guys really want some singles, my personal favorite is Streetlights. It's not necessarily.
How about top 3?
Yeah. Okay, we can do top 3.
Yeah, quickly. Yeah.
Let's see. So my 3 songs for people to listen to. Okay, I suggest you go and listen to the albums as a whole. But if you really only have time for a couple of songs, here are some really important Kanye songs for you to definitely listen to. The first is Streetlights. It's off of 808s and Heartbreak. The second is I Wonder off of Graduation. And the third is Heard 'Em Say.
Okay. I wish I can give like more than 3, but like my picks, I guess, would be Touch the Sky. That's my favorite song. Like where 1, it introduces you to Lupe. It's on Late Registration. That's not the first reason. 2, it's humble. 3, it's cool. It's motivational and uplifting. 2, I would say Homecoming. I really like that he, like really has such great love for like where he came from, and creates a whole big metaphor. And 3, Last Call. Yeah, Last Call from College Dropout. I just listened to that first 3 minutes every time, but then also the whole 12-minute thing is wonderful.
Oh yeah, in Last Call he goes on a monologue on his hardships into getting into the music career. The music industry. And so it's a really interesting song to listen to, for sure. And for your convenience, if you look in the description box, if you're listening to this on YouTube, we have a Spotify playlist with all of these singles.
What? That's a good idea.
Just go ahead and click. And from there, I highly suggest you check out the albums.
Perfect.
Please check out the albums. They're fantastic. With that in mind, I suppose that's the end of our show for today. Guys, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, I know it's been a long one, but definitely hope you guys have some new pieces of media to check out now. New games and new Kanye songs you gotta definitely check out.
Definitely. And YouTube is difficult for us to hear all of your thoughts, so please feel free to communicate us via Facebook, Twitter, or Tumblr. Facebook.com/that'sdopepodcast, Twitter.com/thatdopepodcast, and that'sdopepodcast.tumblr.com. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Now stop listening to this podcast and go listen to some Kanye West.
Perfect.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next one. Stay dope, folks.
Stay dope.
Peace.